Hello traders, hello folks. This is a quick market update. I haven't really caught up with the YouTube channel, but here we go. It's going to be a short video just on the three majors and maybe on Bitcoin and Ethereum. For me personally, what I'm looking at right now is that look at Dow Jones and see that there has been some pretty nice bounce on the high of the pre-COVID high. So this is for me a pretty neat support bounce, and so far macro wise on the 3 months everything's bullish. On these things are still fine, but you can see we're still dragging a bit. Why I'm making this video is because for me we are in a very important week. I'll show you why right now. So personally I find the swing here still pretty important on the Dow Jones. I think we have to trade above it to confirm a potential bottom. And maybe do something like some weird, maybe W pattern, inward head and shoulders, something like this. But for me, very important is to trade above the high here, because that's the swing to the low, and we want some sort of higher low and higher high to confirm that we have a trend reversal, because right now all we are doing is we lost some macro time frame on the weekly, so kind of lost over this swing here, lost this swing here, lost this swing here. So all of this right here is a pretty typical distribution, whole area here. So I also expect this to act as some resistance, and to, if we bottom here and this is the bottom, I believe that we will take a while and chop to a degree, do some patterns and chop and bottom defining kind of pattern where you see a rounding bottom, sort of like this. I don't think we're gonna have, but this is just speculation, just take it day by day and week by week. I don't think we're gonna have a sharp V reversal like we had on the COVID lows, but who knows, it's possible, right? You see the weekly shaping up, MACD is definitely signaling bullish, so there is some momentum there. You have to keep in mind there is the monthly in the back. This is still not a bullish one so far, but need to offset the bearish momentum to become bullish again on the monthly as well. So as I said, on the daily, for me, like, things are still upticking, but you can see we're on the up part of the Stork as well, and we are already pretty high at the MACD. Can't really see distribution yet on this time frame in my opinion, but this zone here for me is pretty hard resistance, and we just came into it right now. If you zoom down on the 4-hourly, same thing, you see that there is some potential distribution happening if you look at the histogram, on the 1-hourly as well. But so far we're holding every single small swing. That's important, never trading below. So for me, if you look at this means that we're still bullish, right? So that's how you want to treat it. But be aware, like, I think longs are going to have some trouble, and we probably will see at least some re-accumulation, and to a degree, if we go higher, or we're going to see some distribution where we have some pullback. Now for the bulls, it would be perfect to trade above. In my opinion, Dow Jones is pretty important, more important maybe than the ES Mini and the NQ, in my opinion, in my view. But if we trade above it, I'll make another video, but you will pretty much have to look for longs on the way down again at interesting zones of support, like this kind of zone here, etc. So anyway, that's pretty much what I'm seeing right now. I don't think there's too much stuff other than that to talk about. Maybe you can see there has been some sort of channel break to a degree potentially, but it's all very sloppy. Just take it level by level and trade the individual stocks. If you're scalping, be aware that we are at resistance zone. ES Mini, let's delete all this. I think the last video was when we broke out of this one, and I said we break this, we're going to trade higher, and then we had some classic flag breakdown, trade above. Let's just remove this real quick. Monthly close, more bullish than on the Dow Jones in my opinion. It's almost a bullish engulfing, very close, but you can see not quite. Still, you gotta treat this as a potential bullish reversal sign. We're nowhere near the COVID high, pre-COVID high here, but that doesn't mean we have to trade there anyway, right? So weekly, same thing, crossover. You will see mirroring things. We had some sort of breakout of some sort of trend line, I guess, if you want to call it. this. You could see there was some accumulation, I guess. We had a quick throwback, not a real clean test, so that was hard to trade. But same as on the Dow Jones, this here is the important zone in my opinion. Gotta trade above this high for us to confirm that we broke the swing and to have a potential bottom. I'm more on the other side. I think we're gonna reject here, but you know, I gotta take it as it is. And right now everything looks pretty bullish on the daily, on the 12-hourly. 4-hourly still looks fine too. You see some curving going on, but we could as well today just bounce higher if the hourly gets some momentum again, and then you know things just keep on trucking, and very well possible. There's some interesting zones in my opinion that I would at least look at personally, but see if something like this happens here. Very interesting zones for me. If we trade above, as I said, on the fallback, which I do think we will have eventually, you want to look for nice longs, and there is some interesting zones as well. I will probably just make another video about that, but some nice untested spots here, things that have not been tested at all whatsoever. You know, these kind of things here. These are some neat zones. All right, last but not least, the NQ. NQ, if you look at it, it's pretty much the same thing. The bounce was pretty nice here. Some local cluster, again, not at the pre-COVID high like the Dow Jones. That's why I think, you know, if the Dow Jones trades above, I think that's a pretty good sign that if we, you know, what we did on the NQ here already, we already broke this swing. And I think it's not safe to say, but it's a very high likelihood that we broke the daily trend and therefore are having a reversal potential for the weekly and the monthly trend, right? So NQ, and all this. You can see that the swing got broken. We are trading above. So personally, I think even if we have a throwback, which is starting to look likely, like I said, again, same thing. It's pretty much mirroring every single indices. I think you want to long the fallbacks, and I think there are some interesting zones here as well. So far, a higher high. Now you want a potential fallback where we hold it and we confirm a higher low, right? That's what you want. There's a lot of untested things all the way down, in my opinion. We could even go right back to trend start, to this leg start, swing start, whatever you want to call it. I think there is still a potential to go there as well. But there are some nice zones on the way back as well. This one is a pretty big one, I think. You see this cluster here. It was support on the way down. We broke below it here. And we came up, resistance, broke above, broke low, resistance, support, resistance. So I think a throwback on this area here would probably see a bounce as well. Same for this area here. It's a very interesting area too. It has history. Could even go as far as to say this overall here has history as well. So these are all support zones that you could be trading if you're scalping, if you're you know, trading on what time frames, or if you're taking contracts on the QQQ or SPY, if you're trading options. Keep in mind that with all of these, you can see that technically, I mean, this is a daily swing where we just captured, right? But technically on the weekly or on the 3 daily, this is the next big swing, right? You want to trade above to confirm another low and have more bounce zones and be able to move higher, right? So be aware that if we go and keep on trucking, that there is some legit resistance here as well, because technically this is the bigger swing down. Also the swing that broke this low here, right? And this low here is one of the swings that brought us higher on the way up. But the real swing that we broke is this one. So, you know, there's some resistance up here as well. See it, support, resistance. These are all zones, okay? But for now on the daily, I think NQ is showing that we're trading above, so there is potential for a bottom trend. So once we get some fallback and you start seeing the lower time frames curving up, you could go for some hold plays on the tech things. Now tech, let's go to what's always quite close to tech. I'm not sure which one is empty here for me. Yeah, this one's empty, okay. On the tech, yeah, don't see a lot of history unfortunately on this one. But on the tech side, you would want to go to crypto as well and see what's happening there. potential Elliott wave should see this bounce from the high here on the monthly, 3 monthly even. I still think, personally, I think the higher probability zone for the real bounce is here. But you gotta trade it the way it is right now. Monthly is still dragging. This monthly close is nowhere near as bullish as the NQ or the ES. So for me, you kind of want to be sort of careful, because right now all I am seeing personally is some sort of bear flag here, right? Does not look like a bottoming formation for me. Like, just doesn't have the right ring for me. But when the NQ trades high and you got some nice things going on, you wanna be attentive to crypto, because it usually moves in tandem to a degree. But yeah, so I expect crypto to not do as well as NQ, and if NQ has a fallback here right now, then naturally I think the Bitcoin will also fall, and Ethereum and the other alts will also have a pretty harsh pullback, and I think that would be a last leg which we want to start buying around this 14 to 12k area. That's what where I have my big bids. However, if we do trade on above the swing here, get up till here, and we sort of reclaim the 20k area here, which has been, zoom to the left, a very important area here. If we reclaim this, then I'm very willing to buy everything in this area, pullbacks, and maybe even say that there is a potential for actual bottom, right? So that's it for me personally here, what I'm seeing. I'm just taking it level to level. I have played individual stocks, things like PayPal bounces, Nike bounces, AMD bounces. Let's see what my levels from 2 months ago are doing. Didn't quite reach the 840, but it's pretty much the first circle bounce here. It's a bit more bullish than the Bitcoin monthly close. If you look at the close here, again, it's not really a reversal bar on the monthly. Might trade a little bit higher, but the same thing as for Bitcoin on the daily. What you want to trade above is the swing here, in my opinion. What we did though on the 4-hourly is we definitely captured the swing here. So we have to work through some supports here on the way down if we want to break the lows, because there is a potential for 4-hour reversal here that we are having on the bottom, and that could translate into the daily, 3 daily, weekly, and monthly. But be aware the monthly has still some heavy momentum going downwards, and for Ethereum I explained before that my big zone will be this zone here. I'm buying 800 all the way down to 400. That's where I'm buying. So that was it. If you would like to see anything specific, give me a shout, comment, like, and subscribe. I will start doing these more regularly. I had COVID 4 weeks ago, so I was recovering a bit, and I had to get my head clear, and it is how it is when you trade. You usually want to trade more than do anything else. But that's it for today. Take care, trade safe, use stops, you know the drill. See you later.